This video provides an overview of the GSX Ethernet IP communication. The GSX E1 enables standard Ethernet IP communication over an industrial network and is fully ODVA compliant. Control and status I/O updates are exchanged cyclically via implicit messaging, with data transmitted in real time and at fixed intervals. Explicit messaging is used for tasks such as retrieving end-of-weld results and configuring weld recipe parameters. To assist programmers with implicit messaging, an EDS file is provided. The EDS tags include data types such as Boolean, integer, double integer, and floating. Some examples of input tags include emergency stop active. This indicates the GSX is in an E-stop state. Ready state indicates the GSX is ready for the next weld cycle. Weld active indicates the GSX is in the ultrasonics on phase of a weld cycle. Hold active indicates the GSX is in the hold phase of the weld cycle. Home position indicates the horn is fully raised to its home position. Ready position indicates the horn is positioned close to the part at its ready position. PB release indicates the start switches can be opened during the weld cycle. General alarm indicates the GSX is in an alarm state. Active recipe number displays the current recipe as an integer. Some examples of the output tags include Go home position configures the GSX to send the horn to its home position. Go ready position configures the GSX to send the horn to its ready position. Reset alarm clears active alarms. And set active recipe specifies the recipe to run, represented as an integer. Explicit messaging is an on-demand, non-cyclical data exchange initiated by the controller. It is used to retrieve weld result attributes or configure weld recipe parameters. Attributes from the last weld can be retrieved using the last weld results object. Key attributes include recipe number, the recipe number of the last weld run. Weld mode, the mode used in the last weld, such as energy or collapse. Total collapse distance, the total collapse of the part during the weld cycle, from trigger to the end of hold. Weld time, the duration of ultrasonics during the last weld cycle. Weld energy, the total energy consumed during the last weld cycle. Total cycle time, the total time elapsed from the start to the end of the weld cycle. Token control determines whether weld recipe parameters are set locally using the GSX HMI or remotely via explicit messaging. When the token is set for remote explicit messaging, weld recipe attributes can be sent to the GSX using the active weld recipe object. Attributes that can be configured include weld mode, specifies the weld mode to run, such as energy or collapse. Mode value, sets the parameter value, such as joules or millimeters. Hold time, sets the hold time duration. Trigger force, specifies the force required to trigger ultrasonics. Amplitude, sets the ultrasonic vibration amplitude as a percentage. Weld force, defines the actuator force applied during ultrasonics. Hold force, defines the actuator force applied during the hold phase. This concludes the introduction to the GSX Ethernet IP communication. Other videos in this series will provide detailed guidance on using I/O tags in projects, retrieving weld results, and configuring weld parameters.